Why your dog sleeps with you, the science most owners never hear. It's 2 a.m. Your dog has a perfectly good bed somewhere in the house, a warm corner, a pile of blankets, maybe even the couch they're technically not allowed on but absolutely use the moment you fall asleep. And yet, here they are, pressed against your leg, chin on your knee, taking up 80% of the mattress and leaving you the rest. Most people call it habit. Some call it clinginess. A few blame the cold. But behavioral science, evolutionary biology, and neurochemistry all point to something completely different. What your dog is doing every single night is one of the most layered expressions of trust that exists between 2 species on this planet, and most owners have no idea. Let's start with the warmth theory, because it sounds completely reasonable. Dogs get cold, you're warm. Simple physics. Except here's the problem. Your dog has access to sunny spots, radiators, soft corners, and probably a pile of your laundry on the floor that's practically designed for napping. If warmth was all they wanted, they have options. Plenty of them. So why do they keep choosing you? Because sleep isn't just rest. For any animal carrying thousands of years of predator-prey instinct, sleep is the most dangerous moment of the day. You don't close your eyes unless you're surrounded by the ones you'd trust with your life. And instead of disappearing into a quiet corner, your dog walks past every safe, hidden spot in your home and climbs next to a human 15 times their size. That is not about the softness of a mattress. That is trust, at its most raw and unfiltered. Researchers took the same attachment tests psychologists use with human infants and applied it to dogs. The result was striking. Dogs form bonds with their owners that mirror the bond a child forms with its mother. The same closeness seeking, the same distress when separated, the same immediate calm when reunited. When your dog chooses to sleep beside you, they're doing the single most fundamental thing attachment psychology has ever identified, seeking their safe person at the moment of greatest vulnerability. They're not being clingy, they're telling you something they have no words for. You are my safe place. But here's where it goes deeper. Because this isn't just psychology, it's chemistry. When a dog gazes at their owner and the owner gazes back, both experience a surge in oxytocin simultaneously. Oxytocin is the bonding chemical, the same one that floods a mother's brain the moment she holds her newborn. And here's what makes dogs unlike any other animal on Earth. This surge happens across species. The dog's levels rise. The owner's levels rise, which makes the dog want to stay closer, which releases more oxytocin, which deepens the bond. Researchers tested the same thing with wolves raised by humans. The loop didn't activate at all. This wasn't trained. It co-evolved specifically between dogs and humans over thousands of years of living side by side. And physical contact amplifies it. Just 10 minutes of petting your dog produces measurable drops in cortisol, your primary stress hormone, in both of you. Now think about what happens over 8 hours of sleeping pressed together. But there's another layer here that almost nobody notices. Something ancient and entirely intentional. Have you ever noticed your dog circling before they settle? Nudging you, pressing against you, repositioning just slightly? That's not restlessness. That's ritual. Dogs carry scent glands throughout their bodies. When they press themselves against you at night, they're mingling their scent with yours. In wild packs, members sleep in a pile. Shared smell is how they recognize who belongs, who is theirs. When your dog tucks against you night after night, they're performing that same ancient ritual, weaving your scent into theirs, saying, without a sound, this one is family. This is also why your dog frantically sniffs you when you come home from somewhere new. You smell different. You've picked up foreign scents. And part of that bedtime press? Part of it is them fixing that, restoring the familiar, bringing you back into the pack. Now look at where your dog sleeps. Not just that they sleep with you, but where, specifically. right by the door, stretched across the foot of the bed facing the hallway, pressed against your back. That placement is not random. It is deliberate. No matter how pampered your dog is, no matter how many toys they own, how rarely they've faced any real threat, they still carry the instincts of a pack guardian. And guardians position themselves with purpose, facing the entry point, covering your blind side. Something ancient in their wiring says, "This human is mine to protect." And every single night, without fail, they take their post. Watch where they settle. It tells you exactly how they see their role in your life. And look at how they sleep, because every position is a message. Curled tight at your feet? They feel safe enough to be near you, but their instincts are still slightly on. Comfort with a quiet edge of alertness. Fully sprawled, legs everywhere, belly exposed, probably snoring. That's complete and total security. Chin resting on your leg, paw draped over your arm. They're maintaining physical contact on purpose. They want to feel you even while they sleep, and the full body press, wedged against your side in the most impractical position imaginable? That's the strongest statement of all. Here's a study almost nobody talks about. Researchers tracked the sleep quality of adults and their dogs over 7 nights using clinical grade trackers on both. The numbers were clear. Dogs objectively disrupted human sleep. And yet nearly every participant reported feeling more comfortable, more secure, and more rested when their dog was in the room. Maybe your dog isn't disrupting your sleep. Maybe they're restoring something your body has been quietly missing for a very long time. And your dog? They reorganize their entire life around yours. Dogs are naturally wired for bursts of activity followed by rest, often out of sync with a human schedule. But bonded dogs do something remarkable. They override their own rhythm. Studies on domestic dogs show that dogs living in close relationship with their owners gradually shift their patterns to mirror human routines. They rest when you rest. They're alert when you're active. Not because their biology demands it, because that's when you're present. This is also why your dog is already watching you before your alarm goes off, why they're at the door before you've reached for your keys. They've learned your patterns, your sounds, your timing. They've synchronized themselves to you, completely, quietly, willingly. If your dog has been sleeping beside you for months or years, and one day they stop, don't brush it off. Dogs are creatures of habit and deep loyalty. When a behavior this significant disappears overnight, there is always a reason. Sometimes it's environmental. A new pet, a new person, a change in routine. What feels minor to you can feel seismic to a dog whose entire sense of safety is built on predictability. Sometimes it's emotional. Dogs remember. If something frightened them in that space, or if there's been tension they've picked up on, and they pick up on far more than most owners realize, they may pull back to protect themselves. And sometimes it's physical. Veterinary researchers have found that changes in sleep location are among the earliest behavioral signs of pain, appearing before limping, stiffness, or any visible symptom. A dog who stops jumping onto the bed may not have decided they prefer the floor. They might be hurting. In older dogs, disrupted sleep patterns are the defining symptom of canine cognitive dysfunction, the dog equivalent of dementia. It affects an estimated 35% of dogs over 8 years old. And most owners miss it entirely, because it looks like the dog is just getting quieter with age. Your dog doesn't have language. Behavior is the only way they can tell you something is wrong. So if the nightly ritual changes, watch. Pay attention, and if needed, get them checked. So the next time you wake up at 3 a.m. with 6 inches of mattress and 80 pounds of dog pressed against your legs, remember what's actually happening. Your dog chose you. Not the couch, not the warm patch by the radiator, not the quiet corner by the window. You. 15,000 years of evolution, a bonding chemistry that no other species shares with us, and instincts older than civilization itself. All of it pointed at one thing. Sleeping beside you is the safest place in their world. And the science suggests it might be doing something for you too.